Hi, welcome to the Mindful Business Tip. I am so glad that you've rejoined us and I appreciate the trust that you're putting in me. I'm Nancy Fredericks with Nancy Fredericks International, and in case you haven't already discovered, I have a website that's called Career Stretch Zone, and it's for executives around the country with resources, iTunes podcasts, and all sorts of mindful tips in it that you might find interesting. That said, I'm here to talk to you about a new mindful tip. And it came out of the last week I've had with my coaching clients. It's interesting how it seems to go in waves where everyone's experiencing the same kind of thing. And this week, the coaching was, whoa, you're limiting yourself. Think bigger. Don't stand in your own way. Don't stand in the way of your future. And it reminded me of a CBS Sunday morning interview I heard with Anthony Mason and Pharrell Williams. You know, the Pharrell Williams of Happy, Happy, you know, that we all sing and hum in our minds. You wouldn't want me to do it out loud because I have a terrible voice. That said, Anthony Mason asked him a question, and I don't remember the specific question, but it was something about, hey, I hear you don't believe in the box. And Pharrell looks at him very puzzled and he goes, box? What box? What walls? What ceiling? What limitations? Do you get the mind that this guy is having? What ceiling? What limitations? Because he believes in living in the possibility of being bigger than you can even imagine yourself being. And yet he believes that you have to take steps and action to move into that direction. So I also was reading this week a book, actually it's a journal from a book called Aha by Kyle Idleman. And it's a really interesting book. It's Christian based and it has some brilliant thought-provoking exercises and ahas in the book. And one of them that I was reading very recently, I want to switch and have it look at you and your career. And what Kyle said in the book is, think about what you're doing right now, where you stand in this moment in time, who you are this moment in time, and then expand it out into your future. And he asks us to journal about if we are who we are now, doing what we're doing and believing what we believe and having the skill sets that we have, who are we going to be in the future? Now, I'm not saying that you have to journal, although it's a great experience if you choose to do that. But take a pause and take an internal imaginary journey and try to think about, who am I if I am exactly who I am today? What does my future look like? And if you're like me, when you do that journal, you're going to be going, not who I want to be. There's got to be some switches happening. There's got to be some transformation occurring. And that's what I want you to know, that it starts in the brain and it moves forward with little tiny action steps, one after the other. Even though you might not believe that you can be who you're taking steps to be, you'll end up at the end point being huger and bigger and more glorious and contributing more to this world than you ever would if you stayed here in the limitations that you've put in your mind today. So I want to encourage you to be expansive, to think boldly, and connect that with action step, action step, action step. So thanks for joining me today. I have no idea what my next topic is going to be, but I hope you're going to join me anyway. And thanks for being here. Mindful business tip. Much success to you always.